Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Welcome to my new life. Welcome to NEILA. Welcome to my new adventure mobile. So this is a troop carrier. Australia's probably favorite car. This is a GXL 70s LandCruiser series, and people froth on this car in this country. Why? Because I've personally experienced it now. It is a beast of a car. It can take you wherever you want. I'm gonna pick up a car. We've arrived. That's it! Oh my god. So yeah, this was a brand new car that I acquired, which is crazy to me because I've never had a brand new car in my life. I started off with 16 kilometers, and let me tell you, the anxiety that I got driving, seeing the kilometers rack up. Just went for a drive, first time ever in my car. I feel so uncomfortable doing this. I don't know why. I just look at the kilometers, I'm like, whoa, it went from 16 kilometers and now it's 35 kilometers. So you might be thinking to yourself, what is this chick with a freaking crop top doing in a car like this? Does she even know anything about four-wheel drives? And the honest answer is that I don't really know that much about four-wheel drives, but everybody's got to start somewhere, right? And the itch of the four-wheel drive culture actually started for me because I lived in Iceland. A lot of my friends had super jeeps. They had huge cars, adventure mobiles that you could go anywhere in the middle of winter. There was nothing, whiteout, complete whiteout, and you had all these gadgets to help you navigate these meters and meters and meters of piled up snow, so you could go out into the highlands of Iceland and see some untouched places that most people can't go. So it was this connection of, wait a minute, these cars can give you access to adventures that not many people can have, and I love seeing remote places where there's not a lot of people. I just find fascination in that. I want to know the ins and outs of places that aren't very reachable. And so me, as a beginner four-wheel drive enthusiast, I ended up acquiring a very, very powerful little car called Suzuki Jimny. It was pimped out a little bit. I added a snorkel. I was gonna go do some off-roading and crossing rivers. I did go camping in it. I slept in the car. It was long enough for me to fit comfortably in the car. I was in love with that car. But unfortunately, my trusty old alien that I grew to love so much had to be sold, which was a very sad moment. That's a great car, by the way. It is a great car. Quite bad on fuel. Great car. On the 12th of January 2022, 2 days before my 33rd birthday, I decided to buy myself a gift. I was living in Iceland at the time. Everything was cool and dandy, but for some reason I was like, I am obsessed with this beige LandCruiser Troopy. I want one. And so I made a very spur of the moment decision, and I just called up Toyota and I said, hey, I'd like to order one. And they said it's a deposit of 2,000 Australian dollars. And I said, yes. Because I could always pull out. At any point I could pull out. And so I just ordered one. I'd see what happened. This one. I bought him. I bought exactly this one. Little did I know that in that time, I go through a gnarly breakup, a gnarly business separation, swiftly moving out of my home in Iceland, having to sell Alien. And so the gift that I was, thank goodness, granted was I landed in Australia and the troop carrier arrived at the same time. I bought this car a year and a half ago and it just happened to arrive right now. It's crazy. It was like this weird transition that I just had this perfect upgrade of Alien come into my life. I was so attached to the number plate Alien that I ended up trying to find Alien here in Australia. It didn't happen, so the best next thing I could think about after coming up with combinations was NEILA, Alien backwards. Just got a delivery. I did. I got a delivery. Oh my god. Ah. Fuck yeah. It's not going as well as I thought it was gonna go. Mate, the amount of times people are like, oh, NEILA. And I'm like, read it backwards. A lion. Alien. I'm like, it's Alien. Just, it's Alien, okay? It's meant to be cool. So I might be ditching this idea. If you have any suggestions for names for this beast of a car, please let me know in the comments below. Oh, hey MTV, welcome to my new crib. Come on in. Full disclosure, full transparency, I've actually had her on the road and I've had her a little bit decked out in a temporary solution because I needed to experience what it was like. So I've spent some time camping in her with some makeshift camping setup and it worked. This is a great thing. You can go as big as you want with these troop carriers and have pop tops and extra gas bottles and extra tire and all these extra bells and whistles if you want, or you could just literally throw in a mattress to the back, have a fridge hopefully, and then you're good to go. Depends how big your trip is, depends how long your trip is. I know for a fact that the more that I start adventuring, I will want to be off-road and out of service and out of civilization for a few days or a few weeks at a time, because Australia is so big and there is so much to see. So slowly we will be upgrading the car. So let me tell you what I intend to do with this car for the first trips and first adventures around the place. So as you can see, it's not that big of a car. I'm 173 centimeters, 5'10" maybe? This is my wingspan. It's not big, you think, but then if you utilize every single space of this car really well, oh my God, it goes places, it does things, it's so rad. So I've actually explored a few options on how to modify this car, and honestly, because this is an expensive car, right? I am not gonna go all in with just modifying everything straight away. I know that this car is capable as it is, so I don't wanna go over the top until I'm certain that I need something. I'm not gonna make any decisions, because this car, we're gonna be friends for a while, you know what I mean? What I know I need right now is storage in the back and bedding and somewhere to hold surfboards and food. So fridge, 2 seating panels that I can convert into a bed, and then slide in surfboards here. Not gonna drill into the car at all at the moment, which sounds crazy because I could be adventuring around Australia for a very long time, but I'm just gonna see what that feels like, knowing that I've already done like a month away in the camper and it was perfectly fine, but I don't know how much more I need if I go away for longer. Recovery gear, definitely we need a stereo. A better stereo would be great because no. Can we talk about the advanced technology that we have here in NEILA on this? Oh, there's cruise control and extra buttons, you know what I'm saying? I actually love that so much about this car. It is so stock standard. They told me when I picked up the car that just a week later they were switching over to an Apple CarPlay with all these bells and whistles with the extra cruise control buttons. They were changing the light shade, they were getting rid of the V8 engine, and they were putting a Hilux engine into it. So I still have the Toyota LandCruiser engine, which I'm thrilled about. It is the last little spin of these guys before they switched over, and I was going to pay an extra $8,000 for this upgrade. So I'm thrilled I still have this original beast with very, 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 very simple non-electronic additions. Some small things have been upgraded and added, but mostly it is still as original as it was 50 years ago. What I love most about this car is that it's a freedom machine and it unlocks access to places that you can't usually go to. So even though I'm really fresh to this overlanding community, please go easy on me. I'm really trying, and I'm not here to just put a bad name to the overlanding community. I intend wholeheartedly to understand how this beast works, understand how to take care of her really well. I'm not someone that comes from a background of car lovers. We really don't. My family's not like that. So I'm learning from the ground up, trying to figure out how to do this thing of overlanding, of going on giant expeditions. I don't know how these cars work, and it could sound like a disaster, but I'm so willing and able to learn about how this machine works and how that whole culture of four-wheel drives work. So if you have inside suggestions, anything, I'd love your input. Please help me out, because girls learning, you know, we all have to learn somewhere. Think of me as your little sister or your auntie or whatever you want to think of me as, okay? Okay. But yeah, just help me out, because this is fun. The way that I intend to treat this adventure mobile, this Freedom Machine, is not, hey, here's Australia, look at Australia, this is what Australia has on offer. That is definitely coming, because Australia is underrated. I remember someone recently saying, when I moved from Iceland to Australia, it's like downgrading from business class to economy, and that shocked me. That comment shocked me to the core, because that means that people don't know what Australia is. They haven't seen it, and wildly, there's not even that many people creating content around Australia, which is sad, because this country is so vast with so many incredible sites, and the culture behind this place is so deep and so nourishing to the world. So I can't wait for you guys to see Australia. There's so much to be shared. But the other thing I'm gonna use this car as is, it is an exploration of not just Australia, but it's exploration of myself. Like, I'm an artist, really through and through. I am an extension of nature. Everybody is an artist. Nature is freaking artistic as heck, and we are nature. So how is it going to change my body? Am I going to be fitter? Am I going to be healthier as a result? Am I going to sleep better? So many things to uncover about being more connected to Mother Earth. Subscribe for more adventures in NEILA, tentative, hits the outback of Australia. And in the next episode, I'm going to be converting her into the full-time house that she's going to become. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you yet again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. You already definitely know about Squarespace, especially if you've been watching this channel. It is an all-in-one platform to run a beautiful online presence and run your business. And so the things that I've been working on right now, using the new editing interface, for example, which is basically you can place anything anywhere, even overlapping the other blocks and resizing them directly on the page. It's so fluid and so easy to customize. You can make your website exactly as you want. So this is a new free human website that I'm building right now, and I'm so happy with the layout and the color and the design. It looks so beautiful, and the elements I'm adding, basically the entire website I built in about maybe an hour, maybe two. It's so fast, so express. I don't have to be bogged down with any logistics. I just have the idea that comes into my mind, and then I can execute on it, because Squarespace has gone above and beyond to ensure that we have it so easy so we can actually execute on our business and not get stuck on the details. So we have the Squarespace member areas, which is where you can connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members only content, which is something that is going to be coming into the free human space in the future. There's no rush on this for me right now. I'm just ensuring I get a membership really, really right before I provide it to people. With the member areas, you can manage your members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights all in one easy to use platform. Honestly, I've been using this service for so long, and it is the central hub of everything that I do. It is a way that I can convey the message of who I am and what products I'm able to provide, what service I'm able to provide. A website to me is a no-brainer, especially with Squarespace. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you are ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Sorelle to save 10% off your first website or domain.